Mark to everyone. Unscripted. That's all it says.
It means ask a question.
Ask this question.
Any question.
Oh.
You got it.
How many Frenchmen can't be wrong? Knew I'd get you guys. Next.
Hello, I'm John Boyega, and welcome to Moviefone. I'm surrounded by my amazing cast from Star Wars Last Jedi, Kelly Marie Tran, Mark Hamill, Gwendoline Christie, and we are going to talk Star Wars Last Jedi. We're gonna do the questions that you guys sent in, and we're gonna answer some unscripted questions as well. From Karen V in Washingtonville. Hey, love, how you doing? Do you know what I mean? No, Karen just felt like Karen had some flavour, so I just had to send that flavour back, Karen.
Karen, send in a pic.
Is it difficult to switch from one director, JJ, to another, Rian, with characters you've already established? So
Does anybody know what JJ stands for, by the way? Is it true it's Jar Jar Abrams?
That's
Nobody
true.
knows.
It is that's actually true.
It's a mystery
That's his
what
birth
those
name.
initials stand
No,
for.
you're right, Mark. That was his birth name. And then he changed it because he was worried that it might conflict in some way with the franchise.
I think you're correct. Thanks for solving that mystery.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was
My
the
work
only
here is
That
done.
was the only difficulty, wasn't it, from switching from one to
Exactly,
another?
for me.
It was just being unsure. Wanting to clear that up.
But I'm interested to hear from you, Mark, because you've had multiple directors throughout
Right.
this whole legacy of yours.
Right, George, and then Irvin Kershner and Richard Marquand. It's, they all have their own style. They all have their own ways of relating to the actors. And one of the things that is similar to amongst them all is their love of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And the way we love it, too.
Yeah.
So it's just a joy to go to work and have fun. If you can't have fun doing a Star Wars movie, something's seriously wrong with
Right,
you.
exactly. Gwendoline.
I felt very liberated, actually, and I was really surprised at how, they're quite open to creativity, and they want to know what you think. I never thought ever I
Highly
would ever be
collaborative,
doing a Star Wars film, and the director would
think,
say,
Gwen?
"What do you think?" It's always the answer.
I think, just transitioning through JJ to Rian, I just think they were given different goals and they were given different challenges. JJ had to bring back something that we all love to a new audience and, to pay homage to the old. Whereas in Rian now needs to build off of that, that blueprint that JJ built. Within the same energy and within the same vibe of Star Wars, but at the same time, to be new, to be different and to take risks. And I thought that Rian was doing that a lot.
And it
so
felt
it's
kind of
good.
effortless, too, I think.
Ryan's
it
a
was
massive
his
Star
vision.
Wars fan. Like he's like crazy about it. So everything is.
These new films are the first generation that were originally fans.
Right, exactly.
Now in the position of writing and directing.
This is from Darren C. in Melbourne, Australia.
Hey, Darren, what's up?
What's up, Darren? Who would win in a fight? Captain Phasma or Brienne of Tarth?
Do you know what? You know what?
What?
What? What I'm going to say to that, don't think about pitting them against each other.
Oh, man.
What could they accomplish together? Female friendship. Who do you think, John?
I think Captain Phasma will annihilate her. I can't lie.
Annihilate Brienne of Tarth!
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Straight
my
up.
brain just melted.
Straight, and Captain Phasma would leave a house for that. She would just order some form of like airstrike.
Audrey M. in Atlanta. Did you compare medical pod notes with Mark? Who had the more traumatic recovery process? John.
This is when you lost your hand.
Well, and I was in the Bacta tank from my encounter with the Wampa.
You're in the tank. I'm in the back to suit. So
all right.
I've got like the upgrade.
So you didn't have to wear that adult diaper, which was...
Yeah, I did have to wear that.
He elected to wear the adult diaper.
I wanted to
And
make it
there is
camouflage.
nothing wrong with that.
It was see-through too, with like water. It's basically like wearing plastic and putting water around
Yeah,
yourself.
why not? Do
I
you know
didn't
what?
ever talk to you about that.
No, but what I loved about the Bacta tank is it's like I had to learn scuba diving. So they were worried if I would panic breathing. And they took me to a girls' school swimming pool. And I got to take scuba diving lessons. It was great fun. And of course, when you get in that tank, it's like an isolation tank. It's just sheer bliss. And you just sort of, because you can't do anything. Yeah. You're just floating motionless in this liquid.
They looked at my track record, was like, yeah, Boyega can't swim. Give me a suit. From Ann P. Millcreek. Of all the Star Wars movies you have been in, what scene or moment was the hardest for you to play as an actor and the most fun for you to watch as a fan?
You know, the fun stuff was like swinging across with the princess and running around the Death Star undercover, which I notice you're very adept at, you and Kelly. The Vader scene.
Yeah.
You know, there was a false line, so they keep the secret. The line was, "You don't know the truth. Obi-Wan killed your father." And I do it just like you see it, no, and all that, which I thought was a terrific twist. If Sir Alec is
Wait, Mark, can you just do that one more time?
I know, it's really great.
Well, the thing is, they said we're going to dub this line in later. I am your father. And I could not believe it. I said, boy, that's even a better twist. If it's true, how should I play this to Kirshner? Yeah. He said, well, he says, search your feelings, you know it to be true. And we played it absolutely authentically. And you see a sort of calm come over Luke and he just lets go, like committing suicide. That was rough stuff because it's also primal.
Unscripted.
Well, you know, I mean, these movies deal in triumphs and tragedies and family and sacrifice, as you say, for the greater good. It's all that element, it's just that primal sort of storytelling. So they're really difficult when you shoot them. Then it's a whole different experience when you bring in the most important element, which is the audience.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
So did you, that moment of Darth Vader revealing himself as your father, were you there with an audience? Did you enjoy watching that moment, knowing it was coming?
I couldn't wait for them to, because I had to keep that secret for more than a year and a half, and it was
Don't lie,
terrifying.
Mark, who did you tell?
Kirshner said, look, I know something that I'm gonna tell you, and the only other person that knows is George Lucas. So if you leak it, we'll know it's you. So talk about pressure. I was terrified, you know? I talk in my sleep. I could have ruined the whole franchise. Sam B. in Los Alamos, New Mexico. Who was the first person you told when you got cast, and what was their reaction?
I told my parents, and I gotta prelude this story. So in November, I found out, November 2015, this is right before Force Awakens came out, right? So that came out in December of 2015. And I was home for Thanksgiving, and I was talking to my dad. I'm like, Dad, we should go see The Force Awakens together, knowing that I was going to be in Last Jedi. And my dad was like, ugh.
You hadn't told him yet?
No, I hadn't, because I couldn't. Oh. And so he was like, I don't watch movies like that. So then later when I told him, he was like, oh my God, I love those movies. And I'm like, you're a liar. But yeah, that was his first reaction.
Now you're in it. That's the reason why they go. My parents don't watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now they do.
With a gun to their head.
Yeah. Now they do. It's mandatory.
Yeah, of course they do. Good. And you know, and I bet they're happier that they do now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool film.
Yeah.
Does he understand it? Understand it? Yeah, that's the only thing about my parents,
so.
Man. Yeah, they don't understand.
My parents were from a different culture. Yeah, you know, like they.
This is really let it out.
Yeah, it pains me.
It's like group therapy, isn't it?
Really let it out.
Yeah, it pains me sometimes.
Let it out there.
Yeah.
I was shown Star Wars when I was 6. It was presented to me as like a holy grail.
Really?
On home video, right? Or on the big screen?
No, it was at home.
Yeah.
I think it was some kind of dodgy video, to be honest.
People-
Or it might have been on the television at Christmas time.
Oh, with the commercials every 10 minutes.
No,
Not
it
the
was
Christmas
on
special,
the
though.
BBC.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have commercial breaks.
I know, I love that.
So, but it was a
the
really
BBC.
significant. It was presented to me as a very significant moment of this is Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, and that was, and as a family, that kind of was really united us. That we loved this, and it was special, and it was so transporting.
So how fun for you then to eventually become a part of it.
And
Not
when I
like
was
these people who couldn't care less.
They couldn't care less. But when I was little,
Whoa.
I used to think. Well, I mean, I was sort of 6, 7, 8. I used to think, God, I wish one day I could be in a Star Wars film. And my mother's saying to me, they don't make them anymore.
Oh.
John to Mark, Unscripted.
Oh, Mark, what would you advise me as a new actor to the Star Wars franchise, about moving forward in life with Star Wars being such a big part of my day-to-day life?
Put it in perspective. It'll always be part of your resume, but I look at every job I have as the first job I've ever had, you know, and that's the only way to go. And you always, what's great about it is that you'll have the universal goodwill of a base of fans that I call the UPFs, the ultra passionate fans, and they are with you through thick and thin. They know you're doing an off-Broadway show at a 99-seat house. They know more about me than me. And like I say, I'm sure you already know, they are so devoted, and they're almost like an extended family. I get more support from them than my actual family. Marianne P. in Phoenix, Arizona, were you adamant about maintaining an air of mystery about your character?
Well, yeah, I enjoy that as something in terms of my work. Also, it was kind of a necessity because when we started The Force Awakens, the character wasn't, you know, it was sort of a bit of an idea. Yeah. And it started off being just a couple of days. It was just going to be a couple of days, and it was going to be kind of in the background. And then I was really passionate about it, and JJ and everybody felt that it was really working, and so they said, we want to do more. And I sort of proffered some idea, like urgently pumped some ideas that I had about the character.
Can I just ask you, how did you get out of the trash compactor? Because that was locked pretty tight.
Wasn't locked.
Oh, you're getting
You
this
didn't lock
spoiler
it.
territory because it's Last Jedi.
You didn't lock it.
People love characters in a mask because there's so much, it's so enigmatic.
I also think we live in an information age where it's constant information overload.
Yeah.
And for me, what I find interesting in my entire life is rather than being given all the answers about everything all of the time, the work that my mind does in terms of what things might be is more interesting than any straightforward answer. It's more satisfying. Wondering about something and not knowing what it is fascinating to me.
Boba Fett.
Yes, exactly.
Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Darth Vader.
Who
You
is
don't
it?
want to take their helmets off
No.
because then
You
all
actually
the
don't want to know.
Yeah. Leave it to your imagination. The
So
audience will.
it's partially that it came out of a place of it being
Trying to find out everything.
unknown,
Right.
which has been.
Pay attention, you two.
Oh my God! What is happening over here?
This will be on a pop quiz at the end of the session.
We
so
were just like, we want to know.
She was just talking. She was talking about the air of mystery that any character with a mask has.
You know why it's over now?
All right.
That, Mark, I'm really grateful you listened.
I
I've
was.
totally lost faith in both of these two people I once called friends. That's it. Do you know what? It's fine.
We're just going against the Star Wars, but we just want to know who Captain Phasma is, who everybody is behind those masks.
Okay, you gotta wait for it.
This is from Eugene L. in Sherman Oaks.
Long question.
Wagwan. Your character has meant so much to Asian Americans since she was first announced. How challenging or rewarding is it to play such a significant character the fans fell for before they even saw the movie?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's both challenging and rewarding, I think. I've thought about this a lot. Like, I always feel that it's such an honor to be part of something this big and this amazing, but it's also a lot of pressure because you want to do it right for everyone that's loved this franchise and for Asian Americans that want to see themselves in movies that maybe they haven't before. Yeah, it feels
You went
like...
out to Singapore, so how was it?
Yes.
How was it out there?
It was so great.
Yeah.
It was so great. I went to Singapore and then I went to Vietnam, which is where my parents are from, and we were promoting the movie out there, and it really felt
So crazy.
What's crazy is that no one has really seen anything about my character in this movie, and everyone is just so welcoming and already just so accepting of everything, like everything I say, and I'm like, it's just
She's
makes me
getting
emotional.
choked up,
I'm getting
right? Even
emotional
thinking about it, I know.
because it's insane.
It's so
Yeah.
important.
Thank you, John, Mark, Gwendoline, and thanks for having us, Moviefone. Thanks for all of you for watching and sending in your questions, and don't forget to go see our movie. I'm sorry, what's it called again?
Star Wars, the last.
The Last.
The last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
The Last Jedi.